Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Bloodline member could score massive pin over Roman Reigns, says ex-WWE star, to secure major match after Survivor Series, War Games. Roman Reigns is headed to WWE Survivor Series for the second time to participate in a War Games match. Meanwhile, Matthew Rehwoldt predicts that the Bloodline's Solo Sikoa would pin the original Tribal Chief for the win, which would set up a one-on-one match between the two. Earlier this year, Solo Sikoa became the Tribal Chief of his version of the Bloodline in Roman Reigns' absence. Later, the original Tribal Chief returned, and the two have been feuding to be the rightful leader of the faction and restore their family's honor. Speaking on Rebooked Wrestling, Matthew Rehwoldt, F8 in English, said the new Bloodline must win the upcoming War Games match in Canada. Moreover, English wants Solo Sikoa to score the final pinfall win, which would lead to a one-on-one match with Roman Reigns in the coming months. So this is my point. They've made a big deal over who pins Roman Reigns, because there's been very few people who have pinned him in the last couple of years. They've made a big deal about Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes doing it. So I think here's another moment. Solo Sikoa pins Roman Reigns if we're heading to a big Roman and Solo clash, Rehwoldt said, from 1/11/30 onwards. Earlier this year, Solo Sikoa created a new faction in the image of the Bloodline and introduced Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu in the Stamford-based promotion. While the move didn't sit well with many original members, the 31-year-old WWE star made significant changes in the coming months. Later, Roman Reigns returned to WWE in Ohio at SummerSlam and started a heated rivalry with Solo Sikoa and his new group. After scoring a win over Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in Atlanta at Bad Blood, the Tribal Chief got another shot at the original Tribal Chief and the Usos. The rising star scored an upset win when he pinned Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia during the six-man tag team match at WWE Crown Jewel. The former North American champion can achieve a major feat if he pins the original Tribal Chief for the second time in a year inside War Games. The Bloodline saga has been the centerpiece of WWE storytelling for years, with Roman Reigns reigning as the Tribal Chief and the undisputed leader of his family's faction. However, the narrative might be on the verge of its most shocking twist yet. According to a former WWE star, one of Reigns' own Bloodline members could pin him clean in a monumental moment that would secure a major match post-Survivor Series, War Games. This bold prediction has set the wrestling world ablaze with speculation. Could a family betrayal be looming? Or is this a calculated move within the Bloodline's intricate power structure? Let's explore the layers behind this potential development. The Bloodline began as a story of dominance, with Roman Reigns aligning himself with his cousins, the Usos, and later inducting Solo Sikoa into the fold. Together, they cemented their legacy as one of the most dominant factions in WWE history. But dominance breeds jealousy, resentment, and power struggles, a truth that has unraveled the family's once-united front. The cracks in the Bloodline became evident earlier this year when Jimmy and Jey Uso turned on Reigns, citing his manipulative leadership as their breaking point. This betrayal led to a split within the family, with Solo Sikoa remaining loyal to Reigns while the Usos charted their own path. But loyalty in the Bloodline is never guaranteed. Ex-WWE star and analyst MVP suggested that the next twist could involve Solo Sikoa or even Jimmy Uso, delivering a career-defining moment by pinning Reigns. For years, Reigns has dominated WWE programming as an unstoppable force, racking up an unprecedented championship reign and dispatching challengers with ease. While his dominance has elevated WWE's storytelling, it has also created a looming question: who can realistically dethrone the Tribal Chief? A family power shift. A Bloodline member pinning Reigns would represent a seismic shift in the faction's dynamics. It would signal the end of Reigns' iron-fisted rule and the beginning of a new era within the Bloodline. Whether it's Solo asserting himself as the true heir or Jimmy seeking redemption, the moment would be unforgettable. Building future stars. WWE is always looking for the next breakout star, and a pinfall victory over Roman Reigns would instantly elevate any Bloodline member to main event status. Solo Sikoa, in particular, has been positioned as a rising star, and this could be the catalyst for his ascension. A long-term payoff. The Bloodline storyline has been WWE's most intricate narrative in decades. A family member pinning Reigns would be the ultimate payoff, tying together years of tension, betrayal, and redemption. If MVP's prediction comes true, the most likely candidates are Solo Sikoa or Jimmy Uso. As the Bloodline's enforcer, Solo has been portrayed as fiercely loyal to Reigns. However, loyalty can only go so far when ambition and opportunity come into play. Solo has shown flashes of independence, and a victory over Reigns would solidify his status as a top-tier talent. Solo's rise could be a callback to the Samoan dynasty's history, where family members often competed to prove their dominance. With his no-nonsense attitude and undeniable in-ring prowess, Solo could step out of Reigns' shadow and claim the mantle of tribal chief for himself. Jimmy's motivations have been more complex. While Jey Uso has fully severed ties with Reigns, Jimmy has oscillated between loyalty and defiance. This unpredictability makes him a wild card. A pinfall victory over Reigns could serve as Jimmy's ultimate act of rebellion, proving that he's more than just a tag team specialist. Additionally, a victory for Jimmy could reignite tensions with his brother Jey, setting the stage for a high-stakes clash between the two. If a Bloodline member pins Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, War Games, the ripple effects would be monumental. A pinfall loss would mark Roman Reigns' first clean defeat in years. It would shatter the aura of invincibility he has cultivated and force him to reevaluate his role within WWE and the Bloodline. Reigns' character has thrived on his unchallenged dominance. Losing to a family member could lead to a fascinating character evolution as he grapples with vulnerability. WWE loves to plant seeds for WrestleMania during Survivor Series. A Bloodline member pinning Reigns could set up a blockbuster match for the grandest stage of them all. Imagine Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns for the title of Tribal Chief, or a triple threat match involving Reigns and both Usos. The possibilities are endless. The Bloodline has been the backbone of WWE's storytelling, but no faction lasts forever. This moment could signify the beginning of the end for the group, allowing each member to carve their own path. While this might mean the dissolution of the Bloodline as we know it, it also opens the door for fresh storylines and rivalries. As news of MVP's prediction spread, fans took to social media to share their theories. Solo Sikoa is the future. Him pinning Roman would be the perfect way to pass the torch, tweeted one fan. Jimmy finally getting one over on Roman would be such a satisfying moment. He deserves his time in the spotlight, wrote another. This has WrestleMania written all over it. Can you imagine the crowd if Roman loses clean to Solo? Even WWE insiders have weighed in. Hall of Famer Booker T called the scenario a game changer, while Paul Heyman, ever the cryptic strategist, refused to comment, only stating, "The tribal chief doesn't lose." Period. Beyond the championships and accolades, the Bloodline storyline has always been about family. A Bloodline member pinning Roman Reigns wouldn't just be a wrestling moment. It would be an emotional crescendo in a saga defined by love, loyalty, and betrayal. The Samoan wrestling dynasty has always been rooted in tradition, and Reigns' role as the tribal chief has been a nod to that legacy. For one of his own family members to rise against him would symbolize the natural evolution of that tradition, where the younger generation challenges the old guard to prove their worth. The idea of a Bloodline member pinning Roman Reigns is as compelling as it is controversial. It would represent a turning point not just for the Bloodline, but for WWE as a whole. The aftermath of such a moment would ripple across the entire wrestling world, reshaping the landscape of the company. Whether MVP's prediction comes true or not, one thing is certain: Survivor Series War Games promises to be a night of high drama, shocking twists, and unforgettable moments. And if a Bloodline member does manage to pin Roman Reigns, it will go down as one of the most significant moments in WWE history. ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info.